Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we track the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. We are immediately dipping into the latest news break that is coming in. There's been no breakthrough in talks between the centres and the farmers. The talks started a little after 3 p.m. Until now, no breakthrough has been achieved. The talks have ended, viewers, inconclusively at that. The next round of talks are now expected on December 3rd. What we are expecting that the farmers, which in the meeting had rejected outrightly the government's proposal of putting together a committee, the farmers are very adamant on the fact that they want complete rollback of the 3 farm laws. The government says that the laws are not going anywhere. They are not going to take down the laws. So no one is blinking first, and the deadlock now continues. Let's quickly listen in to what the Agriculture Minister and the farm union leaders had to say right after 4 hours of talks between the government and the farmers.
सर, आप लोगों ने क्या पक्ष रखा है?
आज बहुत अच्छे वातावरण में चर्चा हुई और ये तय हुआ कि अब शेष चर्चा परसों होगी दोपहर में 12 बजे।
आपने फार्मर्स को ये बताने की कोशिश करी कि ये कानून उनके खिलाफ नहीं है?
हमने उनको बताने की कोशिश की। हमने ये भी कहा छोटी कमेटी बना दो और उसमें डिस्कशन कर लो, लेकिन वो सब लोग का मत ये था कि भाई सभी लोग मिलकर बात करेंगे। तो हमने कहा हमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, सब लोग मिलकर बात करेंगे।
जो आए थे आज मीटिंग में? जो
आज आए थे वही।
धरना प्रदर्शन को लेकर कुछ बोला सर कि कुछ खत्म करने के बाद वापस लेने के?
नहीं, अभी ये फैसला तो किसानों को करना है। मैं तो लगातार आग्रह कर ही रहा हूँ कि आंदोलन समाप्त करें, लेकिन फैसला किसान यूनियन को करना है।
जो अवधारणा बनाई गई है MSP मंडीज को लेकर के, इसके लिए आप लोगों ने क्या बताया फार्मर्स को?
अभी इस मामले में कुछ नहीं
जी।
परसों चर्चा हुई।
2-3 घंटे बात चली है। सरकार ऐसे गलते रही है कि छोटी कमेटी बनाओ, अब चर्चा करते रहेंगे, आंदोलन वापस लो। ये गल रद्द हुई है कि आंदोलन लगातार जारी रहूगा। कमेटी कोई कमेटी नहीं बनेगी, कोई कमेटी बनाने लिए सहमति नहीं है। आंदोलन जारी रहेगा। ये आंदोलन चल जारी रहेगा। सरकार तो कुछ लेके जाएंगी। सरकार गोलियां दे, सरकार चाहे शांति चाहती है तो लोगों का मसला हल करे।
Let's quickly cut across to our National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, who's joining us right outside Vigyan Bhavan, where this meeting ensued for about 3 straight hours. Rahul, it seems it's a Mexican standoff. The government says laws are not going to be taken back. The farmers pretty much adamant that the laws need to be repealed with immediate effect. No middle ground at all.
Yes, Preeti. When the 35 leaders of farm unions went inside, they had an extremely entrenched position. They said that the farm laws need to be repealed, the MSP system to be retained, mandis kept to be alive. And the government was maintaining what it has been saying over the last few months, that the farm bills are a win-win for the farmers in the country. And with this situation, when they went inside, the government created a presentation. In the presentation, it tried to allay the fears, provide assurances on all the elements or the flagging that the farmers have done over the last several days, especially during the last few days. The government faces a clear and present danger and challenge that, one, there can be an escalation in protest around Delhi, and also the farm protests may spread all across the country. So the government wanted an engagement, and that is why it came down from a high point when it said that go to Burari, otherwise no talks. And there was a thaw, farm unions also agreed. But eventually in the meeting, it seems that the government has stayed firm on the fact that it does not want a rollback, and it's not in a position to give an assurance of adding MSP as part of a statute. But definitely one can see that the government has gone back a step. It wants to keep the farm unions engaged. It is not looking for a quick fix that we have told you today, so you go back, end your protests. It is trying to keep these unions engaged so that they can be convinced and assured that the bills are not against the farmers. On the other hand, it tried the ploy, or the usual ploy that governments do, of forming a committee. But farmers are saying that committees have never served the purpose. They're largely for serving the purpose of the governments, and they hurt the interest of the farmers, and they are largely delaying tactics, and they have rejected that formula. In this meeting, the farmers were very clear that they have fears that the entry of private sector, instead of a government-run mechanism, will take away their lands, will hurt their economic interests. Given this position, what one can say is that this meeting today was largely inconclusive. But the positive is that there is an engagement for negotiation now. And that definitely will calm the tempers as far as the farmers are concerned. And now Thursday, when they are again going to meet all 35 unions again, the government hopes that they can take their attempt to assure them further. How convinced the farmers will be, that one needs to wait and see.
You know, Rahul, so 3rd December is when the government would be meeting the 35 farm unions again. But the word coming out is very clear. They want all 3 farm laws to be repealed. On the other hand, is there room for maneuver? What if the government says they will legalize MSP, will put it on paper that MSP will be legalized? Then will the farmers relent, or they are pretty much stuck on the fact of the laws being taken back?
Largely, Preeti, in the meeting, they were very clear that the laws need to be taken back. Now, if the government or somebody suggests something vis-a-vis MSP, will be an action plan through which they will attempt to resolve the issue and end the fears of the farmers. Otherwise, the farmers are very clear they want the laws back, because MSP will be gone, mandis will be gone, private sector will take over, the vultures and the sharks will end their economy. And that is why in this meeting, one can very clearly see that the government's attempt is to buy time right now. It is not pushing that no rollback kind of an attempt. Statement is not being made right now in this meeting. But when it comes to MSP, I have spoken to experts and people in the government. MSP, adding it to the statute is a very tricky job, because right now 23 commodities are covered by MSP. 7 of them are cereals. Once you add MSP for these 23 commodities, there will be demand for all the commodities from the farm sector to be included. Also, if there is a surplus, then the private sector may not honor this MSP, and there might be a huge crisis for the farmers. And that's why in the last so many decades, MSP has not been added to the statute. Right. And that's where the government's compulsion is, that it cannot add MSP to the law.
You know, Rahul, very quickly, there is a bit of resentment, because most of these 35 farm unions that have been called today, actually 98% of them are from the state of Punjab. Now, there are unions in Haryana, there are unions in Uttar Pradesh, there are unions in Uttarakhand, which are demanding that they also be a part of the talks that are taking place today. Will there be a new list, say, in the next 2 days' time?
No, Preeti, there is going to be the same 35 are going to be repeated. What the government has assessment is that farm protests are more vigorous in Punjab, primarily because in Punjab there is a much better culture of procurement by the government, in which the government procures more than 90% of the produce. The MSP is much rigorously enforced there in Punjab, and that's why the apprehension over the farm bills. In other states, say Bihar, barely 20% is procured. MSP is not honored. In Uttar Pradesh, not more than 50% procured. MSP not as vigorously honored. And that's why the protest, due to the what the government calls is a reform, the apprehension levels are lower in these states compared to Punjab. And Punjab also, the farmer is much more aggressive in their intent in terms of protests. Because remember, Punjab holding average land holding is 3 times more than, say, a state like Bihar. And that's why the aggression comes from a certain state of confidence and well-being also. And that is why the fear that if 90% of mine is being procured today, I get MSP, a new law can upset that regime. It will upset the mandis which are already existing. Farmers are fearing that the new structure may undo all the good that the past has done. And remember, Punjab is the food bowl of India. It has pushed India out of a situation when India was largely a food importing nation.
Right. Appreciate you joining us, Rahul. We're going to continue to come back to you. So what's happened today is the government was to meet the farmers on December 3rd. They relented. They say, let's meet now. They sat on the round table, but the talks were completely inconclusive. It's a Mexican standoff which continues to fester, because the farmers are very clear. They want all 3 farm laws to go. The government on its hand is sticking to its ground, saying the laws are not going anywhere. But talk to us. We're going to try and talk you through what is good for you, is what the government maintains. In the midst of all of this, viewers, there's fair amounts of politics. Now, the Chief Minister of Haryana, M.L. Khattar, earlier on had hinted of a possible Khalistani angle to the protests which are raging on across borders of Delhi by mostly Punjab leaders. Now, what has happened is, the day after that, Congress MP Ravneet Bittu has alleged that some Khalistani elements have indeed infiltrated the agitation. Bittu, who was speaking to India Today, said that rogue elements can give bad names to the farmers' agitation and must be driven away by farmers themselves. Yesterday, the BJP too made a similar charge with its IT cell chief Malviya, alleging Khalistan and Maoist link to protesters. Meanwhile, JNU left-wing students Bhim Army have also joined the stir. Kamal Hassan too said that the government should have a dialogue with farmers.
यहाँ पे ये कुछ लोग हैं जो इनको किसान जथेबंदियां जल्दी से जल्दी कंट्रोल करें और भगाएं इनको यहाँ से। नहीं, पंजाब में जब ये जाएंगे, अब यहाँ जितनी देर ये बैठेंगे हम चाहते नहीं है अभी इस एजुकेशन को कोई चीज खराब करे, लेकिन पंजाब में जाके हम जरूर इनसे निपटेंगे। हम पहचानते नहीं इनको कौन है ये। यहाँ ठीक है, बाकी स्टेट में अगर आप इनको कुछ कहोगे तो ये और खालिस्तान की बात करते हैं, फिर मिनॉरिटी की फिक्रों की बात करेंगे। अब आप नहीं कर सकते इनको, लेकिन जब ये पंजाब में जाएंगे वहां हम इनका ध्यान रखेंगे। खालिस्तानी कोई होगा तो सबसे पहले वो हमें गोली मारेगा, हम लड़ने वाले हैं खालिस्तान के लिए।
आप ये कह रहे बिट्टू जी, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि इसमें कुछ खालिस्तानी एलिमेंट है, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि इनको आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं?
100% है इसमें। अगर कोई आप बताइए, कोई किसान किसी को गाली निकाल सकता है? आप बताइए, किसान किसी का मुर्दाबाद कह सकता है? किसान किसी को ठोकने की बात कह सकता है? वो तो बेचारे पीछे रोटियां बना रहे हैं, अपनी ठंड में बैठे हैं। ये जो लोग हैं ये कहीं ना कहीं कहां से आए, ये एजुकेशन को भी खराब कर रहे हैं।
चुनाव में जिसके सामने आप गिड़गिड़ाते हैं, आज उसको आप आतंकवादी कह रहे हैं। शहीद आजम भगत सिंह के वंशजों को, शहीद आजम उधम सिंह के वंशजों को आप आतंकवादी कह रहे हैं। आपको शर्म नहीं आ रही है?
All he has to do is pan and look at my farmers. Have a dialogue. It is long overdue. I'm not even saying please. You must have a dialogue, because it is very important for the nation, and you also believe in the good of the nation. We have to collide, rubbing out party lines, collude, rubbing out party lines, and think as Indian citizens, not as leaders of parties. I'm not talking to the leader of another party. I'm talking to the leader of my nation.
खालिस्तानी कनेक्शन की बात सर इसमें सामने आ रही है, ऐसा भी कुछ अभी तक कोई इनपुट मिला है?
इनपुट ये है कि कुछ इस प्रकार के अनवांटेड एलिमेंट्स ये इस भीड़ के अंदर आए हुए हैं, और हमारे पास रिपोर्ट्स जो हैं, अब इसका खुलासा अभी करना ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन जैसे ही कोई पुख्ता प्रमाण मिलेगा आपको बताएंगे। कुछ उन्होंने नारे बोले, एकदम सीधे सीधे नारे बोलते हैं।
On the sidelines of the farmer protest, a diplomatic face-off is now raging on when the Prime Minister of Canada, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has stepped in, giving out a video message wishing Sikhs on Guru Purab, but also talking about the farmer protest back in India. Many feel, what business does the Canadian Prime Minister have to interfere in the affairs of India?
The chants of farmers protesting against the Narendra Modi government's new farm laws are now resonating beyond the borders of India. These visuals have evoked a response from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I would be remiss if I didn't start also by recognizing the news coming out of India about the protests by farmers. The situation is concerning, and we're all very worried about family and friends. I know that's the reality for many of you.
Speaking to Sikh groups on the occasion of Guru Purab, the Canadian Prime Minister asserted his country will continue to defend the rights of peaceful protesters in India.
Canada will always be there to defend the right of peaceful protest. We believe in the importance of dialogue, and that's why we've reached out through multiple means directly to the Indian authorities to highlight our concerns.
Many MPs in the UK have also been raising concerns over the farm laws. But it was Trudeau's comments which drew a sharp response from New Delhi.
Let's not give any other country a chance to interfere in our domestic affairs, and the Prime Minister himself should be able to address this issue, and I'm hoping that they would do that.
In an official statement, the Ministry of External Affairs called the comments ill-informed and unwarranted. It called the protest internal affairs of India. The ruling BJP too sniped at the Canadian Prime Minister. Party General Secretary Ram Madhav slammed Trudeau, asking what his locus standi is in the matter.
India reacted sharply to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's statement on farmer protests, calling the statement unwarranted and ill-informed. Canada is known to have a huge influence of the Sikh community, with many of the ministers in the Canadian cabinet belonging to the Sikh community. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
All right, let's shift focus right now to the city of Hyderabad, which polled for municipal elections today. Well, it was a high-octane election. Until about 4 p.m., the voter turnout was just about 30%. The BJP went all out this time to campaign for Hyderabad. Municipal polls. Take a look.
A high-stakes civic poll battle. Hyderabad turning out for its date with the ballot. From Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy to TRS Minister K.T. Ramarao and Sister K. Kavita. To AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi, who chose to ride his Hot Wheels to the polling station. Hyderabad saw its high-profile citizens landing at the polling booths. Cine stars like Chiranjeevi were also among the early voters.
వేసేవారికి మాత్రమే తర్వాత నిలదీసే హక్కు ఉంటుంది, ప్రశ్నించే హక్కు ఉంటుంది. దయచేసి ఓటింగ్కి రండి, పాల్గొని హైదరాబాద్ నగర అభివృద్ధికి, హైదరాబాద్ ఏ రకమైన ప్రజా ఆలోచించి ఓటేయండి చెప్తే అందరూ కూడా దయచేసి ఓటింగ్లో పాల్గొనాలని విజ్ఞప్తి.
And I hope each and every voter will come out and exercise the right to vote till 6 p.m. And I hope that this polling percentage would be much better, more than what it was 5 years ago or more than even the last parliament election.
मैं सब लोगों से आप सरकार ठीक नहीं काम कर रहे, ये आपका इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ठीक नहीं काम कर रहे, ऐसा आप क्रिटिसाइज करते हुए घर में नहीं बैठना चाहिए. आप बाहर आके आपका अधिकार उपयोग करके सभी लोग जो वोटिंग में पार्टिसिपेट होना चाहिए.
Voters came out amidst the pandemic. The EVMs had given way to the old-fashioned paper ballot, keeping COVID protocols in mind.
We are happy that a lot of care is taken for safety, and the numbers are being regulated quite well.
The political temperatures have soared in Hyderabad in the run-up to the Greater Hyderabad municipal elections. Given the high-intensity poll campaign by BJP heavyweights, the party which won just 4 seats last time aims to make its mark this time. But the ruling TRS and estranged ally AIMIM remain confident about retaining their turf.
A high-decibel, unprecedented campaign for a municipal poll in Hyderabad. Massive war of words, clash of titans, but that all seems could not influence the voters of Hyderabad. Turnout has been very poor, very poor.
It will now be a tense wait for results scheduled to be announced on Friday. With Ashish and Ashutosh Mishra in Hyderabad, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's shift focus right now to the state of Jammu and Kashmir there, where the phase 2 of polling for the District Development Council has come to an end. Till about 1 p.m. 40.3% polling was recorded. Well, it is the second phase of election, which is in terms of the District Development Council, which has come to an end in the region after the trifurcation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the DDC election contest is primarily between BJP and the Gupkar Alliance, which seeks to restore Jammu Kashmir's special status. Now, the DDC polls are the first elections that are taking place in J&K after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. The first phase of polling took place on Saturday with a voter turnout of 51.76%, and the second phase of polling has taken place today. Counting will take place, viewers, on the 22nd of December. All right, let's now quickly shift focus to one story which has been gaining traction over years and years and years, but no culmination, which is whether Rajinikanth will join politics or not. Well, the debate on that rife once again, whether Rajinikanth will take that political plunge. Rajinikanth met his senior RMM member, VM Sudhakar, at Pose Garden this morning. The meeting came as a follow-up to the meeting that Rajni had with the district secretaries of his fan club on Monday. Rajni had yesterday said that he will take a decision on entering politics as soon as possible. Office bearers of his fan club had in fact signaled that an announcement would be made shortly.
From whatever we hear, there are indications that Mr. Rajinikanth may possibly be announcing an entry into active politics. Now, whether that is in the form of immediately starting a party, whether that is in the form of contesting the elections, whether that is in the form of forming an alliance, all of this is really not known at this point. But there are a few reliable sources who seem to indicate that such a plan may be in the offing, and that such a decision may be announced certainly on or before 12th December, which is his birthday.
அவங்களுடைய கருத்து எல்லாம் நம்ம கிட்ட வந்து சொன்னாங்க. நானும் என்னுடைய பார்வை அவர்கிட்ட வந்து பறந்துக்கிட்டேன். ஸோ நீங்கள் எந்த முடிவெடுத்தாலும் நாங்கள் உங்கள் கூட இருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க வந்து சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நான் வந்து என்னுடைய முடிவை வந்து எவ்வளோ சீக்கிரம் முடியுமோ அவ்வளோ சீக்கிரம் தெரிவிக்கிறேன்.
Welcome back. You're watching a fact check segment where we bust certain myths masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. Well, there is a picture which is floating about of an old woman, which the picture claims is the Shaheen Bagh Dadi sitting in at the farmer protest. The fact check on this is that particular picture that you see up there is not of the Shaheen Bagh Dadi. This was a woman from Bhatinda. However, the fact is later on, one of the Shaheen Bagh Dadis did try and come and sit in protest, but she was told to go back. But this picture falls there, not of any of the Shaheen Bagh Dadis. With that, it's a quick wrap on this edition of 7 at 7, but do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.